Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a time when I don't have Andy with me. But today's one of those times. Andy's not here. He's actually on a vacation with his significant other, his very special lady, and it's a very special vacation for them, and I'll let him tell you guys about it next week when he's back. But for now, I thought I would do a different type of episode, almost kind of like Strange and Unexplained. Our other show, it's more of a monologue style podcast. And what I'm talking about today was actually going to be a Strange and Unexplained episode, but I thought this could be a cool true crime guys thing too, and I think you guys would find it very interesting. And also, I feel like the more ears on this, the better. This is a very, very different episode today, but still one that needs to be heard. People need to know about this. But before we get into it, I must let you guys know that you can catch these episodes early and ad-free on Patreon, patreon.com/truecrimeguys. For just $3 a month, you can get access to these episodes, sometimes 5-6 days early. They always have bonus content, and they never have ads. You can bet your ass. Also, you can check out our other shows, Strange and Unexplained, as I mentioned, as well as Cryptic Soup with Thina and Kylie. New episodes of Cryptic Soup come out every single Wednesday. Make sure you give them a follow on Instagram as well, at Cryptic Soup Pod. And also, while you're there, give True Crime Guys a follow as well, at True Crime Guys on the book, on the gram, on the X, okay? All the stuff, at True Crime Guys. Also a great place to send case suggestions, all right? But today, I want to talk to you guys about some white-collar crime for a change. Something that hits kind of close to home for me as well. Not necessarily my home geographically in North Carolina, but, in my heart. If some of you don't know, I lived in Las Vegas for 3 years. I have family still in Las Vegas, family and friends, loved ones that I care about very, very much. And what we're talking about today, this guardianship, this legal guardianship stuff, could possibly happen to them. And it's there. People are working now to amend some of these things, but it's a mess over there, and it runs very deep. So picture this, right? An elderly couple is enjoying their morning when a strange woman shows up at their door, automatically claiming to be their legal guardian. She also has a court order and tells them to pack their bags because they're going to be moved to a assisted living facility. Oh, and if you don't go freely, guess what? I'm going to call the cops and have you arrested. Now, once they're gone, this guardian proceeds to sell the couple's home and all of their assets in order to pay herself for the care that they apparently need. Now, these people were not the only victims of a woman named April Parks, who's mainly going to be the focus of our episode today. She was a 53-year-old former court-appointed financial guardian who admitted to stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from people who were assigned to her legally. In fact, these were only 2 out of hundreds of victims of Parks in what is known now as Nevada's largest elder exploitation case. I don't know how many people are out here exploiting elders, but it's fucked up. But this lady takes the cake. Like, honestly, as far as corruption, we talk about some awful, awful people on this podcast. But usually the most disgusting, the most like fringe people that we talk about have mental disorders. And I don't know, it doesn't excuse them, but it makes it more understandable. But when you have people who are perfectly capable of deciding right from wrong and perfectly healthy and otherwise function in society, perfectly normal, but they prey on people who can't defend themselves, people who have no one else, but they have lots of money, right? All right, let me explain this. It's frustrating. I can get ahead of myself. So basically, Parks would take control of these estates by filing an emergency ex parte petition, which basically allowed her to appear before the court on their behalf without even notifying them. Okay? Most of her victims had no idea what was going on until they were already legally under her care. And with that care came control of their money as well. She also had a lot of victims with very suspicious diagnoses, some of dementia, and basically any ailment that would lead someone to needing a guardian. All of her victims. I'm gonna try very hard not to say that, but that's essentially what they were. But all of her wards, they always had these suspicious diagnoses. When you go back and you look, it's very interesting. And most of her victims, she over medicated for these non existing ailments, right? And she also kept them confined and away from family and friends. Herman Bill Meslow, who is blind, he said Parks first visited him in late 2013 after he had had various surgeries. Okay, he was isolated from his wife Kathy for 6 months after Parks got a hold of him, all against his will. He couldn't even talk to his wife, let alone visit her. Parks would justify this by claiming that his health was just too bad, that he needed rest, he needed peace, and he didn't know what he needed, right? All the while her victims are screaming for their freedom. They just want to go home. It's awful. There's a documentary that I will plug at the end of this episode, and there is a link to it below. You must watch it. And while you're down there checking out links, you might as well check out our link to Magic Mind, the new Magic Mind bundle, which you can get 45% off with our link, www.magicmind.com/TCGJan. Come on, guys, get up to date with your mental wellness, your mental wealth, if you will. It's about investing in habits today that build your resilience for the future, right? It's like a mental savings account. And the best way to do that is with the 5 pillars: sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, and exogenous compounds, of course. That's where Magic Mind comes into play. For the first time ever, Magic Mind is offering the 24 hours pack. It's focus and sleep shots bundled up at a 45% discount using our True Crime Guys link right below the description of this episode. Again, that link is www.magicmind.com/TCGJan. That's TCGJAN. But Bill had said there are some evil people in this world, and April Parks is a predator of the worst kind. And I believe that too. That's the point I was trying to make earlier. That's well said, Bill. That's the point I was trying to make. She is a predator of the absolute worst kind, going for that opportunistic kill, that whatever it is. Like, this woman would go to whatever length it was to take advantage of the elderly, and she's using the courts to do it. That's what's so messed up. Another victim, Barbara Ann Neely, said that Parks took her from her family and friends as well. Neely said, "She wasn't a guardian to me. She did not protect me from anything. As each day passed, I felt like I was in a grave, being buried alive." End quote. But rest assured, Parks was always there to remind her wards, that what she was doing was legal, right? All right, so let's take a look at what's legal, shall we? The Guardian laws were put in place to assess and provide adult care for those who were unable to do so for themselves, right? And there are a few reasons that one could be determined incapable of caring for themselves. Like, for instance, if their judgment or memory is impaired, especially to the point where they're not able to remember to take medications or turn the stove off, or just things like that. Or if they are physically incapable of good personal hygiene, such as feeding themselves, showering, etc. Now, having full legal guardianship over someone means that the ward is stripped of their rights and are unable to make any decisions. Now, if this is proven in court, then they can be appointed a guardian. And as I said before, they don't have to be there, right? And a guardian has the final say on where the ward lives, even down to what they eat, their medication, their treatment, even who visits them. Oh, and of course, they have a say in their money, all the say. And once a guardian is appointed, it's almost impossible to remove them without some sort of very lengthy legal battle. The Senate Special Aging Committee estimates about 1.3 million American adults are under the care of a guardian. meaning these guardians have control over $50 billion worth of assets. And even that number is probably low, considering most states don't even track these assets. So today, the majority of guardians are family members. But at the time of Park's reign of terror, only Nevada residents could be guardians of Nevada residents, no matter what. So not having a family member who lives in the state could mean you would be assigned a guardian. And I'm sure that made choosing victims a lot easier for Parks, as you could imagine. But luckily, the laws have changed since then in Nevada, and now they allow out-of-state residents to become guardians, which allows more family members to step in and take a little strain off of the public system, which is why the strain on the system is why this was able to happen in the first place. The public healthcare system in Nevada, and I mean, honestly, across the U.S., is severely underfunded and with virtually no oversight. Because of this, mainly the no oversight thing, a lot of the same doctors, judges, and lawyers appeared in almost all of Park's cases. So you can see how these things were passed. You get the doctor to give the fake diagnosis, which convinces the judge, and so on and so on. It's messed up. And to make things worse, at the time, private guardians in the state weren't required to undergo financial or criminal background checks. But after it was all said and done, April Parks was sentenced to 16 to 40 years in Nevada State Prison, and she had to pay almost $560,000 in restitution to her victims. Parks pled guilty to 5 felony offenses, including 2 counts of elder exploitation, 2 counts of theft, and 1 count of perjury. And if all that wasn't bad enough, she also had a storage locker that they found multiple urns containing the ashes of some of her clients who had passed away and had no family, or she just chose not to contact them. Parks lied to the court. She took advantage of an overwhelmed system and brought hell on all of her clients and their families. Now, I know this episode seems to be focused on Parks, and it mainly is, but she really was only part of the issue. In 2015, for example, another private guardian, Patience Bristol, was sentenced after she had been found guilty of stealing from several of her wards, everything from jewelry, cash, even high-end purses. And we can't even do this episode without mentioning the county's most prominent private guardian himself. You really can't look into this without hearing about this guy, 74-year-old Jared Schaefer. He's the former public administrator of Clark County, and he helped lay the groundwork for the guardian system itself, then broke off from it later to open his own private guardian practice. This war isn't over, y'all. I highly recommend, like I said earlier, watching the 2022 Billy Mintz documentary. It's called The Guardians. I mean, you guys really need to understand how deep this issue goes and just how entwined it is into the local government there in Las Vegas. And, between then and now, there have been some measures implemented to improve the system, but the problems are far from solved. And in my opinion, and the opinion of many others, the state has a long way to go. But for now, that's what we're stuck with, and I just feel like more ears need to be on this case. I know this is not a long episode, but it's an important one, especially if you're in the state of Nevada. But, it could happen in any state. Who knows? Who knows, right? But guys, thank you for listening, as always. And remember, you can find these episodes on Patreon early and ad-free, patreon.com/truecrime, guys, where for just $3 a month, you can get access to all kinds of content. And you can get access to everything we make on the $6 tier. Just $6, man. It's like cheaper than a Starbucks coffee these days. It's like $6. What is that, like 2 eggs? I mean, seriously, right? Inflation's a bitch. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Also, don't forget to check out our other shows, Strange and Unexplained and Cryptic Soup with Thina and Kylie, wherever you listen to podcasts, right? And you might as well check out Oh My Gaia while you're at it and do yourself a damn favor, right? Stop putting aluminum and all those other chemicals in your armpits, known to give you cancer, right? And get Oh My Gaia. Oh My Gaia is an innovative, all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. And guys, there's tons of scents to choose from. Check them out at ohmygaia.com. That's ohmygaia.com. There's vanilla, cherry almond, sandalwood, lavender, lemongrass, Egyptian musk, coconut, dreamsicle, leather, lumberjack, honeysuckle, fireside. So many scents, including true crime pine, made for your very own true crime guys. That's right. Great place to start. And because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word Creepvan for 15% off. That's CREEPVAN. No spaces. Okay? CREEPVAN for 15% off your order at shop_ohmygaia on Instagram or ohmygaia.com. That's ohmygaia.com. All right, guys. Also give us a follow on social media at True Crime Guys, truecrimeguys@gmail for case suggestions and anything else. Leave us a review, rate wherever you're listening. And we appreciate you guys very, very much. Man, it feels weird without Andy being here. I guess you guys will just keep creeping and bye.